What is going on, shrub crafters? So here we are on another beautiful Sunday, overcast, slightly windy and cold again. But I bring you one of my favorites. Yes, the Pedersoli. Look at that. The Pedersoli Indian Trade Gun. One of my favorites. It's a smooth bore. It's super easy to load. I'm using 60 cal balls, so and that's hand cast from a Lee mold. I'm running a 18 thousandths pillow ticking cut at the muzzle patch using Hoppy's bore and lube solvent, as well patch lube and solvent. We're running 60 grains of 2F today. This was just the load that I left off with last year when I was playing with this, and it seemed to do well at 40 yards. We're here at 50. I will be shooting at the steel target. I'm going off the tripod because I'm trying to see consistently if this load is right where I need to be. And if you recall, last year I had added right here the rear sight. So I did a little dovetail, put it in and keened it over, and kind of went with the middle of the road. So being smooth bore, you got some variation. 50 yards is going to be my max anyway that I'll be shooting. So today, that's where we're at. The trigger pull, remember, is ungodly on these, and Black Powder Maniac has the same thing. It's probably 8+ pounds. The sear engagement to that trigger and that trigger, or the sear into that tumbler notch is just absolutely ungodly heavy. So I need to figure out how to get that lighter. The other option is maybe potentially replacing this lock, which works phenomenally so far. No issues. However, it's trigger pull is insane. So basically what you do is you, as I explained it the other day to somebody, I said you get on the trigger and you start pulling, and when you think you're there, pull a little more, and then when you think you're there again, keep pulling, pull a little past that. When you hit that next wall, pull, and then when you get that next final wall, you're almost there. Start squeezing real hard, try not to lose focus or the sight, and then keep going, and it's not there, and then bam, you pull that trigger. That's pretty much how that trigger works. And everybody I know who has one of these guns pretty much has the same trigger. So that sear sitting down where that trigger hits, you're on it. And just the force that it takes to get it out of that notch is absolutely insane. So without further ado, let's go ahead and prime this up with some 4F. We're using Schutzen 2F 60 grains. Walmart blue pillow ticking cut at the muzzle. And we're going to prime up, and let's see how we do. We're going to be aiming on the right target. And if I do my part without screwing this up, we might actually have a nice hit. And remember what I said about trigger pull. We'll see if I can get it. Almost there. I did bring a new flint with me because I couldn't remember if this one was good at sparking. Probably not. Let's try that again. Oh, I see the spark. That's not good. We'll go again. I might have to change flints out. Point that in a safe direction. Reset. I'm going to change flints real fast. We'll do this live. So anyway, keeping this pointed down just because there's nothing of danger over that way. But yeah, so the Pedersoli is one of my favorites, and I always wanted a Fowler. And while this is not a Fowler, it just looks very cool of the fur trade. The big old lock usually goes bang every time. I did just pull this out So I was kind of expecting it to potentially have a little bit of an issue. I should have done this off camera, but this is real world situation here. This is what happens if you don't prep your muzzle loaders properly before going in. I just hope that everybody's out there staying safe. I know with tariffs coming on down the list, we've got a lot of concern. Got a lot of concern about what's going on with gun prices, ammo prices, and so on. But I've even seen English flints have increased in price again and again. So here we go. We'll try this, another one. But what I like about this is I'm getting my flintlock training in. There we go. I'll take that. So, one of the biggest things, there's the old flint, I'll reuse that. One of the biggest things with these is making sure that you're keeping all your gear top notch. So, that flint probably needed to be, dressed a little bit before using it. So, using proper safety glasses with flintlocks, again, just remember you've got flying shards. So this is what I do, is I cut the pillow ticking, and there's 5 stripes of cloth, and you do wash this. Go to Walmart, buy a bunch of 5 yards, 10 yards of it. It'll last you a long time. So I'm doing 5 strips wide, and then I'm putting the Hoppies black powder on it. I roll it up like so, and then you can see, hopefully, see how it's all wet there. So what I do is then I center my ball in there, give it enough to wrap around, and away we go. So we will load up again. I'm going to do 60 grains. And this was shoots in 2F. So I've got Old Eynsford is my favorite, and I actually have probably 20 pounds of Old Eynsford still. Mostly 3F now at this point, and a little bit of 2F. And I have a bunch of shoots in. And I was just trying to figure out what I want to do, and for some reason I'm being stingy, and because I know GoX, when they got rid of shut down the plant with Old Eynsford, it makes me not want to use it all. Now, I love it though. It's consistent. It's like the American Swiss, in my opinion. So it is an excellent choice. And so that's pretty much all I'm using in all the small calibers. And we'll get out here shortly. I am in the beginning process of sighting in my Crockett rifle. I'm going to have to file the sights and so on. But so there we go. Our 6.0. I'm going to stand up for this part. And again, cutting at the muzzle. Just remember, in black powder, no matter what you do it consistently. Doesn't matter what you do, because there's so many different ways. Everybody will tell you it doesn't matter. There's no one right way or wrong way. Eventually we all get there and we'll figure it out. So, cut at the muzzle. I'm using scissors because they're safer actually in the woods. And then you can see that 6.0 round ball starts by hand. And that's it. I hope all of you guys are out there, and I hope you're doing the same thing I am, and I hope you're enjoying life a little bit. I have a new chapter of my life beginning. We'll fill you in on it someday, not today. But with that, let's do round 2. I'm going to go down there. I don't want to keep this video too long for you, but I figured I'd take you along, bring out one of my fun guns. We're going to do another one. I'm going to aim right in dead center again. And as long as I do my part, maybe we'll have a group. I'll have to watch that back. Did I flinch that bad? I was on it after I pulled the trigger. This is smoothbore, I guess. Either I suck, which is probably the case. So, any of you viewers, if you are watching this, I want like a 610 or a 615 ball mold. Does anybody know someone who makes it besides like Acura mold? I can get one of those. But I didn't know if you know if somebody made one before, because this being a 62, I'd like to get this tightened up. You know, obviously the tighter the fit, the better it should be. And remember, we're trying to do the same pressure, shot to shot, consistency to consistency, same wad size. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to try to rest this a little better, because again, I'm going for grouping right now. Yep, I think that last shot was definitely me. So I'm burying the front sight kind of in the notch, so there's actually a little bit of space. It's not even across. Again, this was a semi-buckhorn that I took down, and I'm putting it dead center. I'm just having to hold a little high. So I think what I did was I actually dropped a little bit low, and I was a little bit to the left. So I'm fairly certain I went right under. So let's do it again. This gun is just such a hoot at 60 grains. Doesn't hurt me whatsoever. Just a fun one to shoot. And for those of you who are wondering, this my jacket, it's perfect weather for this. This was a CNS Sutlery, US made. It's CNS Sutlery. I believe they're in Idaho, Civil War reenactors. This is the Richmond blue or gray, I guess, color. My wife's ancestors, as you remember, she had 18 fighting the Civil War for the South. A few fought for the North. I see, and from a heritage standpoint, you know, those people were brave just to pick it up to fight for their country. But no matter which side of the political aisle you fall on, it still takes a lot to do that. I just like the fact that these are American made and relatively warm and comfortable. All right, so we're gonna go shot 4 and just watch. I mean, look. So nice. And then this rod here is not the one that came with the gun. I had log cabin shop, I called them. This is one of their unbreakables, and I measured it, and I believe it's a 9mm thimble going through here, because they are metric. And I asked them, I said, hey, do me a favor, make me one. So they had me measure it up, and within a day they had it shipped out, along with, you know, my flints and everything else for this gun. and it's just been wonderful. And as you see, there's nothing in terms of loading this gun, and I'm not even vent picking, so watch it. I just jinxed myself now, but this gun's great. Oof. Oh, man, I love this gun. Look at that. Look at that. Again, I got this at Midway with birthday money. Well, my money on my birthday, but so the birthday coupon. Here's that rear sight. Notched in was a buckhorn that came off the original Frontier Blue Ridge Cabela's. This wedding band is just awesome. Let me see. Again, there's the Hoppies. And that's the bore cleaner and lube, patch lube. Beautiful gun. New flint. The other flint's actually really good, but you can see how bad that edge is right here. Needs to be dressed. Versus this edge here, which is much nicer. I have this clamped in lead. So I took a round ball, smashed it out, and I actually took a chunk out of the back side so that it sits flat against the screw. Yeah, just look at that, still going. Man, I love this. It's just such a fun gun. That wedding band, step down. Doesn't look super nice on my end, but hey. Did 3 peens in the front, 3 in the back. Filed her down, got her going. That wedding band, look at that. That's just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And that half round front. All right, so we did 3 shots on steel and 1 shot out into the, wherever it went, to the ether. Man, I love that gun. It's just so light, and that recoil of 60 grains and a 62 ball, or I'm sorry, a 60 ball. There's just absolutely no negative recoil for me. I mean, it still kicks, don't get me wrong, but it just, that shotgun butt, club foot, I guess, kind of is great. But look at this group. This is what I wanted to see. This is my follow through. Here we go. Right here. Right there. So my first shot. My second shot, I'm not really sure, but I think I pulled it down here because I was aiming here roughly, but I dropped it and I was kind of over here. So when I pulled, I'm fairly certain I went off. One way or another, I did miss. So this was 1. This was 3. Second shot missed. This is my third shot. And then here's my fourth when I really focused right here. And the follow through, I'm making sure I was doing adequate follow through. So 1, 3, 4. And you can see I'm probably, I think it's that higher one in that little mound there. I mean, you can see my chewing away, but you have it. And I know one of my viewers commented a long time ago about cleaning my range up. That's the hidden things behind. Here's my range. We've been buried under snow, and I'm gonna get some garbage bags and start cleaning up the old stuff. I found these old, my geothermal solar placards, and anytime I see those plastic road sign backers, I use those as well. And I'm probably gonna actually start going to what my local club uses, which is those orange snow wind fencing plastic that you can hang with clothespins. So I'm going to set that up here this year, and that'll help minimize some of the extra garbage around. But yeah, I always clean my range. I remember somebody commenting on that, and it was an old video. I think it was one of my 3 or 4 year old videos at that point. He's like, clean your range. And I was like, yeah, really? So, oh, here we go. That's what I was looking for. All right, so we are about 12 yards away from my table. There's my patch. Now, check that out. It's got a little bit of, I'll turn you around. A little bit So that's more rust, but check that out. There is a burn through, tear through. Oh, right there on that edge. Interesting. There's a little bit right there as well. So patch gurus, check that out. So that's where it was really tight around the ball, and it went completely around. And I'm getting a little burned. What do you think? Patch gurus. I think I should add a felt wad between my patch and powder. Maybe. I think that'll get me some more accuracy. A little bit of a buffer there as well. I have no interest in going to 60 grains on this. I mean, so at 50 yards from a stable position, we are rocking it. Anyway, there you go. I just wanted to bring you along today. I'm going to try to keep these things coming for you. This is kind of like my sanity when the week's out and getting ready for the next week. It's just such a wonderful thing. Here you go. Gorgeous. Yeah, so scissors. I was going to say, I'm using scissors because I use scissors cutting at the muzzle, then using a knife. A good sharp knife cutting away from yourself is actually really good as well. But with a lot of things going on, especially while filming and trying to get everything together, you know, I've cut myself before on camera. Ooh, guys, check this out. This, what do you see there? The tick. Come on. Look at that. Yep. Little bastard. Man, we get no breaks, huh? I get no breaks. We went from 5.5 feet of snow. Now I got ticks crawling on me. So we're just gonna cut his head right off. We love all God's things, great and small, and I love dead ticks. So kill them all. Anyway, here you go. Thanks. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope this video is entertaining for you. I hope you get inspired. If you want to go out and build one of these Indian trade guns, well worth it. For the price of things coming up, and I know with tariffs happening soon, you know, we'll see what happens. I would get your Pedersoli guns that are in now because they went up during COVID and they didn't come back down, and they're going back up, and it's getting worse. But anyway, hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed everything, and you guys stay safe. Get out there, start shooting. Powder is in stock all over the place. I mean, some of the sites do go out. We've got multiple wars going on worldwide, so you might as well stock up now. I'm very happy. I'm sitting on a great bunch of primers, and I'm sitting happy on a great bunch of powder. And I loaded up on flints before as well, and finally in a good place. So hope everything's good. Hope you guys stay safe and get out there and do some shooting.